Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Testing, testing. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Testing, testing. Hey, recessionista. How are you? Hello, Ralph. How are you doing this evening? I'm not showing myself this evening. I decided I need to come on so we could talk. Besides, I didn't feel like getting dressed or combing my hair. So, yeah, that would be the real reason. Oh, let me put the chat on. There's so much going on in the world. Ralph, is this your first time over here in one of the lives? Girl, my head is hurting. I'm just like, I can't. Well, welcome. Did you just happen to slide into my live? Hey, receptionista, did you get a notification? Hey, Lovecraft. Well, right now it's only the three of you. Hey, Brandy, how are you feeling? I've been meaning to check on you. I have been so slack. How are you feeling? Oh, okay. So you've been in the bushes. I know. I usually do go live. I've been a little, I don't know what's wrong with me, reason why I ain't been doing live. Well, do they know? I mean, can they do anything about it? I know you said you had bronchitis. Let me tell you something, Polly. Do I get to see you? No, I don't. So, normally I show myself, but tonight I feel like getting dressed. So either you deal with it, Polly, or you don't. Yes, there's so much going on. What is the nausea and dizziness coming from? That shouldn't be coming from bronchitis. I was listening to your video about what you had coming up, and I was like, that sounded really odd to me. Did you go to VA? Oh, thank you, Polly. You might need to get a second opinion. Is that VA up there pretty good? Or I guess I should say, is the doctor you have pretty good? You know, you can see a doctor outside the VA if you feel like um, they haven't seen you in a quick amount of time, or if you feel like you would like a second opinion, you can go to your primary and request that you like to see someone, a specialist outside the VA. You just like to get, a second opinion. Okay, but yeah, I would say, hey, I like to get a second opinion. They don't seem to be knowing exactly what's going on with me, and give them a rundown of what's been going on and that you had to be admitted into the hospital and stuff. And yeah. And ma'am, I saw you eating that fried food. I don't know what you was eating. Looked like onion rings or something. I'm gonna need you to go back to the healthy meal plan. Hey, I'm over here eating healthy not because I want to. I don't get it right every day, but I am trying. Me and you both need to do better. I just need a cook. I need to hire a chef or something because I just don't feel like cooking. But you know what, Ralph? People say that, but I've had the same doctor for, goodness, 15 years or more. She's a good doctor. We don't always see eye to eye, but anytime I've requested to see a specialist or I had to go see a specialist with MVA and they did not treat me the way, and I've only had that happen once, the way I thought they should, they were on it. And they do have an advocate for the veterans there at the hospital. I mean, even when they gave me a ticket and they shouldn't have gave me a ticket. See, I will complain. I will go to the director of VA. The secretary at this VA down here knows my name because I'm not playing with them. I did my time. All I want is good health care. And that's why you're here. So sometimes you got to make a little noise. And that's even in the private sector. The private sector has gotten pretty bad too. It just is what it is with my sister. She has MS. And so, she's always having issues with definitely with specialists. Now I need to eat healthy. I did have a salad with kimchi and salmon and red peppers. I put tomatoes and cucumbers on there and arugula and brown rice with some carrots. It was okay. I mean, I liked all those things and it tasted okay, but I wanted chicken wings. Hey, Tammy. I really wanted chicken wings, and that didn't take the place of them chicken wings. So, yeah. And you know what? It did fill me up. I don't feel hungry whatsoever. So, I do have to say, there's a difference from when you eat junk or stuff that's processed compared to when you eat a good, wholesome, protein-filled meal. It will hold you over longer. So. All right, good people. We got a couple of people in here. Where do we want to even start? Oh my gosh. Maybe we should start with the present and work ourselves back. I don't know. Where y'all want to start at tonight? I know Lovecraft got a topic on the tip of her tongue. I mean, ready to go. Okay, well, I'm going to throw the first topic out there then. Have y'all heard about what the Supreme Court voted on today? It was, Tammy. Did y'all hear about what the Supreme Court did today? Oh, see, they still talking about what people ate. All right, let me give y'all some time. I know. Well, today, there was a case before the Supreme Court from Louisiana, down there from your neck of the woods, Brandy. Yep. And it was an issue about them trying to gerrymander the districts. And because of, now I forgot the name of the act, the Voting Act, I can't think the number of it. Because of the Voting Act, it said that they couldn't divvy up, the areas and make it where minorities would not be able to have a fair vote. I'm not sure how they sent it up, but however they sent it up, Leto and the rest of them, they decided that it is unfair to divide the districts by race. So what it is, pretty much what it boils down to is they put a lot of these things in place because, especially in the South, you know, when you get to the North and all the way to the West, it's the South and that middle section, the Midwest, you know, past Michigan and what's next to Michigan? Is it Minnesota? Usually going on South Dakota, North Dakota, you know, that area. So the problem is if you have, let's say, Indian running for office or a Hispanic or African American, the people tend not to vote for them if they're Caucasian. So what happens is you have representation, but it's all of one race representing that state. So you may have, like here in South Carolina, I can tell you that's going to happen. We only got 2 representatives of color that's up there right now. Neither one of them ain't worth a shit. That's Scott and Clyburn. Clyburn don't even be there half the time. He's so damn old. And Scott, I don't even know what he'd be doing other than having his head up Trump's ass. So both of them will more than likely lose their positions, and they need to. But the thing is, we don't get to put somebody else in there that's going to represent us. So what you'll look up and have a Congress, a House of Representatives and Senators that may not have any minorities. Now, mind you, I know that I have mixed races that watch me, which I love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I hope y'all know that I'm not racist. I can be prejudiced sometimes, and we all have prejudices because we're looking out for ourselves, right, on some level. But when it comes to the big picture, I want all of us to be able to have equality. That's important to me because I don't think it's fair for me to have special, you know, benefits and the next person can't. Because sure as I want to have special benefits for me, I guarantee it'll infringe on somebody else's right. So saying all that, you'll look up and you'll have less representation or no representation. And this now, it will affect women. Because if you don't know it, when you heard your president say that he wanted to make America great again, if you have not noticed, his time span and his mind of when America was great for some reason seems to be the 40s and the 50s. I don't know what was going on in his life during that time, but I guess for him, that's when it was the heyday. Well, for the rest of us, it was not so much the heyday, okay? And so for me being a woman and me being a woman of color, that says a lot. So what they are really trying to do is take out the female voice and the people of color voice. Now, that's interesting to me because I don't see how they figure they're going to be able to do that after all this time. They can make a lot of laws, which they are. Oh, they got laws. Well, what's the president little thing that he do? Executive orders rolling out of there like, you know, toilet paper. I mean, they got more executive orders that y'all have no idea that they have even put out there. That is freaking crazy. That's going to affect all of us. It's just so much. They do so much behind the scenes, and they do all this bull crap in the front. So you looking at that, and you're not looking at what they're doing behind the scenes. I implore all of you to go out there on Martin. Let me know, what is the website? Is it what's the name of the government? United States government website? Is that what it is? .com? Somebody tell me what it is. Put it in the chat. Go out there and look and see what the executive orders are that he has done. You will be shocked. Oh yeah, they're trying very hard to steal the election. And this is my thing. If they manage to do something crooked like that, where they have gerrymandered the areas and made it where people of color don't really have a vote, women can't vote because of the fact that they're now saying that your ID, they're trying to push that through where your ID has to match. Is it your birth certificate or something like that? or they're trying to say that you need a passport. All of this is just crazy. All of it. Because why can't my birth certificate be an ID if I was born in the United States? Why can't I use my driver's license as ID to do everything else other than vote? Why is it that I need to even bring a passport to be able to vote when I got to take a passport to do nothing else other than go to another country? So now I'm just curious that if for some reason they manage to win through cheating, will the people rise up then? This is what I suspect, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong. Because they have been so crooked and they have stole so much money and they have done so many, I mean, they have done everybody wrong in the United States. And I kept trying to remember when I kept trying to tell y'all, I'm gonna get back to my point. Remember when I kept trying to tell y'all last year or into 2024 that for me, we can't keep looking at each other and say, okay, it's the MAGA, this is the progressive, it's to this, it's to that we all need to collectively get together and we fight them other battles later on once we get rid of this enemy. Well, we have come to that point. We can no longer look and argue with the next person because of their race, because of their gender, because of their sexual orientation, because they're Republican or Democrat or progressive or Catholic or, Protestant or whatever. We need to get together, people, as Americans, okay? If we want to save the United States, we're going to have to be united. If nothing else, we need to be united on this when it comes to November. Now, I'm going to say something that's contradictory to what I just said. Now, I don't even know if I should bring that up. Let me just stick with this. Hey, Ellen, we really do need to stick together because I can't do it. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do these 4 years. And we just went over a year. It's like every day you wake up, it is something. Today, I almost was like, you know what? Let them have this damn country. I'm sick of it because this weekend I was looking at countries that I can move to. And let me tell you something. Paraguay and Georgia are looking pretty good. And I can live there for $1,500 a month. This is what I'm thinking, Recessionista. With what has happened lately when it came to the states that have some elections, people are tired. This affects all of us. And see, they think that they can divide up their districts, and just because it's been a Republican area, I'm just trying to figure out, have they never thought that people who are Republicans can go in there and vote a different way? Just because you have down there that you're Republican, you can vote however you want. Just because I may live in a state that's predominantly Republican and that's how we've always voted, doesn't mean that the people can't go in there and change that. Now, the only way that don't work is if they decide to try to steal it with trying to say mail-in voting and all this other stuff. I'm just sick of the grift. I am so sick of the stealing. I really wish that we could just say, we're not going to pay taxes. But I know everybody wouldn't do that. And I don't know why people be so bent on wanting to pay taxes. I would think that if we had a boycott of taxes, everybody would be online with that. But then my thing is also, the states send money to DC every month. Why not hold that money back? If you don't want to do anything for our state, you want to come in here and make it where we can't vote and we can't do this, we can't do that, then we're just not going to send any money to DC. Because the truth be told, the blue states are the ones that send more money to DC to help take care of the red states. I watched something this weekend. I watched a lot of documentaries. Hi, Janice. I love documentaries. And for some reason, I was on a kick about poverty in the United States. Hold that thought. We can go to that next. And the poorest the poorest area in the whole United States, that's at the bottom of when it comes to poor, is the Appalachian Mountains. Now, 85 to 90% of the people that live there voted for President Trump. So a reporter went up there and wanted to see how people were doing. I was floored when he talked to them, because one lady was a veteran. She couldn't even afford to really buy food. So she had her niece and her 3 children living with them. And now you got 5 people trying to live off $650 a month on food stamps, mind you. Food stamps. And they're cutting food stamps. And that's not a whole lot for a single woman with 3 kids. Because I know down here, people get like $900 some dollars. So they may have already tried to cut. And so they're trying to stretch this. She lives in a trailer park, which ain't nothing wrong with that. But she goes to her neighbors' houses and do little errands and, different little things for them to be able to make extra money. So one of the things she was doing was cutting her neighbor's hair. And so the reporter came over and was talking to them, and they both had said that they had voted for Trump all 3 times. And he was just saying, what do you think about, how he's been this second time around? So the guy said, well, he's a family man. He takes his family with him everywhere he goes. That shows what type of man he is. And then she says, and he's created new jobs for people. If you really want to work, you can get a job. He's really made America great again. I said, what TV channel are they watching? Because to be honest, his family is never with him anymore. The first term they were with him a lot, but this time his wife don't even be there. She's been there more lately because it looks like she's trying to start her own brand. But she don't live with him. She lives in New York. He lives in Florida. As far as jobs, we're not going to talk about all the jobs they cut with Doge and never brought back. All these companies cutting jobs because of AI. I mean, it is ridiculous. And my thing is this. Even if they have 50,000 jobs out there, if you're not qualified for them, then you ain't got a job. Am I right or wrong? Hey, Felix. I know it's been a long time. So the job market depends on what your skills are. And it's crazy that people cannot see that these people are grifting. And let me say this. I don't want you to think, let's not get it twisted. It is Republicans and Democrats. Because you tell me how many Democrats have come out and really said anything about what the Republicans are doing. Why do you think that is? If it's 200 and some Democrats up there, why they ain't saying nothing? And even the ones who used to talk ain't saying nothing. Like AOC ain't saying nothing. Bernie, where you at? Jasmine, since you didn't become a senator, you didn't win, you ain't got nothing to say no more? Only people you hear is Hakeem, and he, we might as well not even hear from him. So my thing is, where's everybody at that's supposed to be representing us? You know why they ain't saying nothing? Because everybody's stealing. Everybody making money. Oh my goodness. On the stock market, everybody making money, which I had a problem with the military guy that made $400,000. Let him keep that money, because y'all grifting up there. Every Friday, something happens where the stock market go down. And then early Monday morning, something happens and it goes back up. And so these people are making money. Why not let the little people make some money? I mean, it's just ridiculous. Hey, Deborah. Well, let me know if you're down here. I just told them I looked at a couple of places. It was actually 3, Uruguay, Paraguay, and Georgia. And these are out of country. And as far as being able to get citizenship, it's fairly easy. They give you about 6 months to a year to make up your mind. You can live off. None of them were over $2,000 a month as far as you being able to live, and that's, getting a place to stay, buying food, paying electric bill, and all that kind of stuff. It still is, Martin. But he had told them that he was going to bring the coal mines, he's going to open them back up, which didn't happen. Didn't happen. Okay, so Recessionista wants to talk about the gas. Now, I don't even know what the gas prices are here. You know why? Because I don't go nowhere no more. Y'all know I bought the new car. I might move my car once a week lately. I filled it up probably about 3 weeks ago, and it wasn't too bad. Might have been a month, 4 weeks ago. And when I do go somewhere, I'm going fairly close to home, unless I'm going like this weekend. The farmer's market is a little ways out. Then I had to pick up my sister. Then we went to my mom's. But yeah, but I've heard other people say, especially in the city, $4.49. $4.49. Huh. I mean, what happens when it gets to $5 or $6? You know what? A lot of people, I live in South Carolina, Ralph. A lot of people are doing that now. And I remember when my son was younger, when I have hardly no money, shoot, you go put in there what you can. You might put $5. That'll get me for it here to here. You might put 10, but you never filled it up. You just always just putting enough in there to get to where you got to go. Bye, Felix. You have a good day too. So, and then, the funny thing is, has anybody said anything about the war that we're supposed to be still in? I'm like, what's going on over there? Is the strait still closed? Are we doing any negotiating? Are the oil prices going to come down so the gas prices can come down? Now, Janice, I was thinking about an electric bike. I'm laughing, but it ain't funny because this lady, she be delivering Uber with her electric bike. I was like, girl, you get it. Get it however you got to get it. They still ain't cheap enough. Maybe I need to go live in my car and I can get a couple of free ones like Mac, and I can give you one, Janice, because she ain't doing nothing with hers. So if you are a sponsor and you'd like to sponsor me an electric bike, I could really use it for my health to get some of the weight off, and I might need to use it for local transportation too. Well, they might be bidding their time, but it's not helping nobody else globally. And that's around the world. I don't know. You have 2 e-bikes. Well, that must be nice because they still ain't got real cheap yet. Well, that's because they're lying about how many casualties they are, because you have some military members who are leaking. See, it ain't like it was when I went to Desert Storm. You ain't have. I didn't even have a cell phone. I'm trying to think, did anybody have a cell phone? We ain't had no cell phones. The only way we could call home is when they gave you your one phone call, or you can make a video and send that home. But it wasn't like, like now. They can call every day if they want. They can video chat and all this stuff. We didn't have all that. So they're able to tell more. And they are talking. And they're talking about how they're not being treated well and the conditions that they're in, and that they're lying about the casualties and the losses. What I know, it is going to come out whether they want it to come out or not, because this is a different breed of military than what was in there before. That's why I don't understand why Hegseth, I know his name, Hegseth, is trying to make this macho military, which is so stupid. If the military could have ran with just men of one race, then they would have did that. They needed more bodies. So now this is what I don't understand. Because he's an ass and he don't know what the hell he doing. You got droves of people trying to get out the military. You got more people now wanting to know about how they can get out because they don't believe, they believe that it's illegal what they're having them to do. So now you don't put the draft in where you're making it mandatory. It's already mandatory, but you're going to sign the people up. So come December, everybody that's 18 to 42 do know your name is on the roster. You ain't even got to do it. They're going to do it for you. So now you're sending people out because of your new rules and regulations and ethos, as he says, that the military is, to turn around and enforce the draft to make people, probably the same ones that just get out, have to come back in and be bitter for having to go in and be in something they don't want to be. They all look like fools in front of Congress. I was too through with him. Well, they're just not treating them right at all. They're slack. They don't care. They don't care about the military. They really don't. They don't care. They don't care if you go over there and you lose a limb and come back and can't get good health care. They don't care if you go over there and it's been very traumatic and you come back and mentally you're not there. They don't care if you get paid or not. They don't care. It's all about them. This is the most selfish group of folks I have ever seen in my whole life. It is all about them. So if we have to put boots on the ground and we lose way more people, what he said, there's going to be some losses in this war. But it ain't your son. It's not your daughter. It's not your husband. It's not your wife. It's not your brother or your sister. I thought it was bad enough when I was over there when I found out that we was fighting over oil. And they had given, was it Iran or Iraq? I can't remember. Permission to go into Kuwait. Well, they were supposed to take the islands around Kuwait. They weren't supposed to hit the mainland. But they went ahead, took the islands, and then decided they was going to go ahead and go into the mainland. And I'm sitting my butt over there in the middle of the desert trying to figure out, so I might lose my life because of this? Some bullshit that y'all got going on up there? I was livid. That's when I decided I was getting out. I was like, when I get my, I said, I'm going to tell y'all exactly what I said. When I get my black ass back to the United States, I'm getting the hell out of this shit. And when I got back, because usually when there's a war, they try to get as many people in as they can because they need bodies. But then when the war is over, or, when it's settling down, they have too many people in. So they did early out. And I said, I will go. And my commander and my boss and all that, they were like, you really want to go? You at the halfway mark. I was like, yeah, I do. Yes, I do. If I don't go now, I won't go. And they still had a commitment to going back across them waters because they were going to send me up here to North Carolina. And I was like, no can do. No can do. I'm not going back over there. Not doing it unless it's a vacation. Oh, so let's move on down the road. Move on down the road. So what do y'all think about the correspondence dinner? Is it real? Or is it, what do they call it? A red flag? A psyops? Is that what they call it? I don't even know what the hell they was talking about when they were talking about a psyops. I'm like, what are they talking about? I'm not, China is already involved. China has been given, China and Russia have been helping out Iran. They already involved. If you notice, China don't be fighting though. China send resources, but you don't ever see China get in the middle of a fight, do you? Have you ever heard of China fighting in any of these conflicts around here? How is that possible? Well, I'm going to say this. I'm trying to figure out. Now, this is what I do know. Everybody is stressed. Whether you think you're stressed or not, you're stressed. Because I'm back to grinding my teeth. Now, I don't necessarily feel like I'm stressing my body, but I guess at night it comes out, and that's why I'm grinding my teeth. But people are stressed because even if your finances haven't been hit and you can still afford to get food and gas and all this stuff like that, it's still so much other stuff going on. And so I now for those of you who shoot guns, got guns, those of you, there are people that go out and play, military wars and stuff like that on the weekend. A lot of us are prior military. I know Albert Einstein when it comes to strategy, when you protecting somebody. But I'm going to say, I think I could have did a better job. I don't understand the Secret Service. I'm like, who's training them? I don't care what they say. They got there too late. How in the hell did you take the vice president out first and leave the president sitting there twiddling his thumbs, and they came back like, oh shit, we forgot him. Then he falls, though he said he didn't, but he did. He didn't go low. He fell low. You know what I'm saying? And they get him and his wife out. But it was almost like they left him. And the response was too slow. My thing is, shouldn't Secret Service be at the end of those tables at the entrances so they could be right there? Or at the tables below so they could jump up and be right there? I mean, maybe it's just me. And then, okay, so they say that he didn't get through all the security checks. Okay, did y'all see the video? And it looked like the Secret Service and the police and the military, whoever was all there, they was just, playing on their phones, trying to fix a metal detector, just lollygagging. Nobody was posted nowhere. There was nobody posted on those glass double doors. There was nobody posted on that hallway that was behind them. Common sense would say, maybe you should have somebody sitting back there or standing back there so nobody can run up on you. Then you see this guy and he booking. He just come barreling through, and it still took them a minute to realize, wait a minute, oh shit, this ain't right. He got a gun. He didn't. First they tried to say he shot 7 or 8 times. He didn't shoot shit. They shot 7 or 8 times. Then they shot one of their own people, and they still didn't hit him. Now, I was not, the best at target practice. I was not. I ain't going to even lie. I couldn't shoot worth a shit. But my goodness, I would think if I was in the Secret Service, I would have to be proficient. Or is it just me? Girl, they ain't caring nothing about them people in the ballroom. And they was on their own. You better go low and crawl up out of there. Well, they have security. Supposedly, they said that this one, so there's conflicting stories. They say that he wasn't on the same floor, which wouldn't make sense to me. Why would you go on the floor above and try to make a run? Where was he running to? You know what I'm saying? Why would that don't make sense? So maybe there was more than one security check on that floor. But still, he should have never got that far. He should have never got, if they have been doing what they should have been doing, he should have never got that far. That don't make no sense. And the people in the ballroom, oh, they was on their own. And I don't understand. Maybe y'all can help me. Maybe it's rich people stuff. See, people who live at probably below, middle class and below, we know what it means when somebody's shooting a gun. You don't stand up and use your phone to record what's going on. You get low. I don't understand that. And let me tell you why he didn't move. He didn't hear the gunshot. He said he thought that it was trays dropping, but you could see his wife's face and the guy that was doing the card trick. Both of them looked up and was like, hold up. it sounded like, you know, like gunfire. You know, when you hear gunfire, you'd be like, is that gunfire? And you'd be like, yeah, it's gunfire. They heard something. He didn't hear shit. He was still just looking around because he old. He ain't heard nothing. Miller putting his wife in front of him. I'm like, what kind of men are these? Who puts their wife who's pregnant in front of them? That's just like the guy who don't know that you walk on the outside when you're walking down the street with your woman. You walk on the outside. So if a car comes up on the curb, it hits you. That's your role as a man. Now your wife is pregnant and you're going to push her in front of you to push her out the door. And I'm like, is everybody pregnant up there? Miller wife pregnant. Vance wife pregnant. There's a third one. Who's the third person? Oh, and Miss Public Relations, whatever her name is. You know, the blonde girl to come out and tell the lies. I can't think of her name. Because she said the thing about there's going to be some shots made tonight. Kash Patel was sitting there at the table like he was not even part of the FBI, just looking around. Then when they filmed him outside, he was on his private phone making phone calls, probably trying to find his girlfriend. But word on the street is he wasn't even invited because normally the head of the FBI does not come to that function because it's a correspondence dinner. But the Daily Mail invited him. And then you had everybody that was in the line of succession at this stupid dinner. It didn't even make no sense. And then, maybe it's just me. I'm just like, if somebody tried to assassinate me and this was the third time, I'd go home. I'm not going to talk to y'all. I'm not going to give y'all no briefing. I would have my, what's Caroline title? Whatever the hell her title is that comes out and speaks for him. She could have came out with her pregnant self and said something, but me and Melania are going to the house. Because I'm just like, and then they showed a picture that when they were showing, I think they were showing Kash, or no, when Miller was putting his wife in front of him and pushing her out the door, you could look in the back. Now, they supposedly had taken him out for his own protection. He was standing in the wings. You could see him where the curtains were. You could see him just looking around at everybody. Yeah, Carrot White House spokeswoman. Yeah, she could have did the speaking. But he talking about he wanted to go ahead and do his speech because he had so much to say because he wasn't going, they didn't have no comedian. He was just going to do the talking. I'm just like, you know what? This is bullshit. And then somebody tell me, why would this 31-year-old man, as smart as he is, smart as a whip, got great credentials behind him, take a train from California to D.C. to do that? I would think he would have a smarter plan. But they're saying, now these are some conspiracy theories. You know, we had quite a few scientists get knocked off. And all the scientists that got knocked off is working on, it's called Zero something. Y'all know I be forgetting stuff. I need to write my notes down. It's called Zero something. Whatever it is, this thing that they're working on, it would make it that we wouldn't need, is it not gas or electricity? Something. I'll find out. I'll have to look it up again. But it's called Zero something. But all these scientists that got killed, I think it was like 3 of them, end of last year, beginning of this year. He was working with a couple of them, and he was working on the same project. And they're saying they think that that's a possibility of why they would have wanted to get rid of him or something. I don't know. They had a video that they said was Patel dancing. It wasn't him, but that shit was funny as hell. It was funny as hell, him dancing around. I was like, ooh, wee girl, how could you be sleeping with that to be so young? She want them for the money. Heck, if you're gonna give me FBI protection and I can fly on private planes and I can go to Vegas and gamble and hang out and go across to see the Olympic team, and all that, why not? Yes, he was angered like him, and that's a possibility. But it's a damn shame that a 31-year-old can do that, come across the whole United States and come up there and literally get past the checkpoint. Cash Ass getting ready to get fired. He getting ready to get fired. He gonna be down there with Bondi and Known. You see, Bondi then same day that she got let go, she put something in the she sent us a brief to the courts about Ivanka Trump and her company and her illegally handling monies, mixing the monies and all this stuff. I was like, oh, so Pammy Pam is mad. I guess she said she gonna slowly get back. You think she gonna talk? At first, when the Congress had called her in to talk to them, she said she wasn't coming. But see, now that she ain't at the White House no more, they can have your ass up on charges. So now she says she gonna come, but she gonna come at the end of May. You think she gonna say anything? Girl, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. I tell you what, I know Vance will get rid of her and all them cheering. It don't matter how many she pump out. All the cheering can go. All of them can go. If he think he can make president, all of them can go. He'll sell her out. Oh yes, and Miss Erica Kirk. First of all, why is Erica at the correspondence dinner? So she mad at hell at Candace. So Candace wanted to know why she was there. So she came on the Charlie Kirk show and said that she was there because she wanted to talk to the reporters who had been reporting on her face to face so that she could put a face to the names. Really, ma'am? You came because Trump invited you. Because otherwise, I don't understand why you needed to be there. You're not a correspondent. You're not even a podcaster. And isn't it ironic that they got her right at the perfect time where she's crying and she says, I just want to go home. She's either looking mean or she's crying. It seems like there's no in between. We didn't talk about Pete at the dinner. And that was an old-fashioned looking dress she had on. I would have thought that Erica would have had something way better looking than that. It made her really look old, but I guess she's trying to be virginal. Y'all know Pete was drunk up, but the word is now, don't say you heard it over here, that all of them up there, FBI, Department of War, DOJ, all of them up there using the white horse. They ride the white horse. They say that's why Pete be grinding his teeth like that. You know what? And they was probably mad because they messed up their drinking night because him and Cash was going to get toe up. The guy should have waited till they was about an hour or so in because then they sure enough would have been drunk. Did y'all see where they showed where, I don't know who this lady was, but they supposed to be leaving out of the ballroom and she's stealing liquor off the table. I guess she said, I might not have got a whole meal, but I'm going to sure get me some drinks. You know what? Pete had stuff going to look up and it's just going to be him. I don't know how in the hell you keep firing these top ranking individuals while we're in a war. And that's because they know what they're doing and you don't. And he still got a chip on his shoulder about how he got treated when he was in the reserves. Sir, these people need to grow the fuck up. I don't understand how they even got to where they're at with all the bullshit they got going on internally. I mean, the president can't take nobody saying nothing. I mean, really, they're going to try to fire Kimball again? That don't even make no sense. The man made a joke. He's a comedian. You are making him a lot of money, though. Did they say over 4 million people watched him the night after Miss Ma'am decided she's going to say something. But the way that thing was written up, it didn't even sound like Melania. It sounded like it was him. And he just told her, they just put her name on it. Lovecraft. Oh, the sexual deviancy up there. Oh my God. Everybody up there is a perp. They are perverted. I mean, a perv, not a perp. I got that from Candy. They are pervs. They are so perverted. I'm like, is there anybody up there who ain't perverted? The men and the women. What's the woman that got just got fired? I forgot what department she's over because she's sleeping with one of her staff, and she taking him to the strip club and taking money from the government to pay the strippers. Then her husband, he can't even come up there no more because he done tried to hit on the staff so much. It is just ridiculous. Known, got a whole damn plane that she having sex in the back with the guy that works for her that she hired, and her husband at home wearing fake boobs and giving money away to the people on the internet. I just don't understand who the hell is running our country. What's your birthday, twin? I mean, it's just crazy. Every week is something. 12/4. Who's born on 12/4? And then the man's wife had a birthday Sunday and he didn't say nothing about it. Did you hear Trump come out and say anything like happy birthday to his wife? Nope. Didn't say nothing about it. Oh, that's your birthday. You and Janice born on the same day. I'm just like, I guess ain't no love lost in that relationship. Oh, happy birthday to everybody whose birthday will be coming up in May. You Tauruses, happy birthday to you. Don't be so mean. Matter of fact, probably my longest, the friend I've known the longest, her birthday is May 3rd. And she's a Taurus, but she never was. She was always so nice and giving and understanding, but she might have a mean streak. But I guess she may not show it a lot. But I know the men. Yes, indeedy. Okay. I said I was going to only stay on here an hour. Let's move it on down. What else is happening? Let's see. We did the shooting. We did the Supreme Court. Y'all help me out. I've been done forgot. Yeah, I was very impressed with King Charles. I've never been a real fan of his, and I'm not really into really the royals unless it's like if I want to do the royals, I like learning stuff about the ones that ain't here no more. But I was very impressed with his speech. I don't know if he wrote it or somebody else wrote it, but he did a very good job. I was too shamed when Camilla was shaking the hands of the cabinet, and Trump just stepped in front of her and started shaking his own people's hands. For what? You see them every damn day. Yeah, we are no longer the superpower. We are no longer respected, and that seems strange to me because when I was in the military and I was overseas, people always, that's all you ever heard. How was the United States? Everybody wanted to come to the United States. The United States is the place to be. Now, not so much. Yeah, he decided that he wanted to say two kings. I don't know who the second king is. And we are a laughing stock. Man, let me tell you something. I actually got to see them. They did a video. They didn't show the guys' faces, but they did a video with the guys who were doing the Lego videos on Trump and people up in DC. And I knew they were young. They're young Iranian guys, and they were saying that, hey, they're an independent company, and they make the videos. They do have people that would buy them from them, like their government. But they were like, they were doing videos like that about their government until we got into this war. And they was like, they wanted to show America that they're not, they're not underneath a rock. They know what's going on. They're college educated. I don't know what people think. You know what? They probably think how people thought of us, people who never came to the United States. But they're very smart. I have to give them, they're very creative. I can't blame them. I'm wondering, what do you think is going to happen this summer? We got the Olympics, and we got the soccer game. I heard that they were losing money on that. That people who had made reservations at hotels and all this stuff, that a lot of people are like, they're not coming because they're afraid that they get over here and they're going to trip on them about immigration and stuff. So they are losing money. So I'm wondering how those two things are going to pan out this summer. That would be interesting. He just got a big butt because he's an old man. And okay, what y'all think about the ballroom? He wanted that ballroom done because he wanted to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States in there, but really it's his birthday. He wants to celebrate his birthday in there. And they lying so bad about the ballroom. The ballroom only seats 1,000 people, and it was more than 1,000 people at the damn dinner on Saturday. So the ballroom, even if it was built, would not have held all the people that was there. He just wants a damn ballroom. That's all that is. That's ridiculous. I don't understand how we got all this shit going on, and this man comes out and he's talking about a damn ballroom. Then he got mad because when King Charles did his speech, he had everybody, the Republicans and Democrats, giving him a standing ovation and clapping for him. Well, that's what he get. See, he always talking about sleepy Joe Biden. He talked about Joe Biden so bad. Joe looking good. Whenever they show pictures of him, Joe is living his best life. I'm going to post a video that I watched. I'm going to let y'all see bits and pieces of it, and y'all tell me what you think. Let's see what was the next thing on hand. Let's see. Ballroom, shooting, Supreme Court, gas, food, jobs. I know he talked over their heads. They didn't understand. They didn't understand. Like when he told the joke about them burning down the White House, he didn't get it. They didn't get. They didn't get it at all. It was like it flew right over their head. Trying to think. Y'all help me out. What else has been happening? It's been so much. I done lost thought on all of it. Oh, what do y'all think about this situation with the young girl that went with her old boyfriend over to Africa and he proposed to her and now she's no longer here? What do y'all think of that? They finally sent the body back, but they didn't send her belongings, which I don't understand. You sent her body back, but you didn't send anything that her suitcases, her clothes, and definitely not the ring. I think they stole her stuff. I think they stole her stuff. I talked about Jimmy already. I think that's stupid. I don't think ABC is going to go along with it, but they're doing an investigation now, trying to find some. They're trying to get them on DEI. They're trying to get them on some bullshit because they want the man fired. You don't get to get mad because some comedian says something about you and you're the damn president and it's your wife. Does that woman not know the stuff people say about her? I'm like, come on. Get for real. You do know that we don't respect you. You're not a first lady. So I'm like, why are you getting mad about what he said? Your husband is older than you. The odds are good that he will outlive you. I mean, you'll outlive him. He even said it, what, yesterday? Yes, a young 31, well, she turned 31 on her birthday. Her birthday was in April. Um, the fiance was 17 years older than her. He has a thing about dating young, he's Caucasian, dating young black girls who are underprivileged. Come to find out, he had been dating quite a few women in Africa. At the resort they were staying at, he was sleeping with some of the people that worked there, and he had girlfriends downtown. And he gonna take her over there. And supposedly, she was a influencer, so she showed all these beautiful pictures of her with the animals, him proposing to her, and all this stuff. And they stayed at two resorts. The first one was where they went and got to see all the animals and where he proposed, and they did a whole birthday thing. And then they went to another resort because that was on their second leg of the trip. Apparently, they got into an argument. Now, I have stayed at plenty of hotels, and most of the time, the staff that's working is not going to get involved in an issue with somebody, that's staying there unless it's very serious. Now, if people complain about noise, they'll call you or come knock on the door and actually turn the noise down. But they literally had to separate them. And they were like in like little bungalows or something. So she stayed in the one that they originally was in, and they put him on the other side of the hotel area so that they could be separated. Supposedly, one of the staff said they saw her that she needed a phone charger. He brought her a phone charger, and he wanted to know if she wanted to have turn down service where they come in and turn your bed down and all that kind of stuff. And she said, come back in 15 minutes. So he says when he came back in 15 minutes, the lights was off, and he, knocked and he didn't get any response. Then he said that he went in. I have never known for staff to just go in your room. Now, I don't know if he thought maybe she had left and he was coming in to do the turn down service. Maybe. But supposedly when he opened the door, her body fell. Or he saw it hanging or something. But that was stupid because the wardrobe that they claimed that she hung herself in would not have even held her. It wasn't even a closet. When you go to other countries, a lot of times they don't build closets into the room. They have wardrobes. And they were trying to say she hung herself on that. He said, the boyfriend said that he went and he found her hanging. Supposedly they're trying to say that from their argument, she hung herself. She was so distraught that she hung herself. Everybody said that that's not even possible because she wasn't even that type of person. And she had talked to her mom and told her mom they had gotten in an argument. She didn't say nothing like she was so distraught, like she just didn't want to live or something like that. So the African government was actually going to let him come back until, I have to say, these internet streets don't play. They made such a roar about it because, after the other young girl had went and her friends took her out and they still running amok and ain't got in no trouble. They were like, we're not going to do this again. So they made such a big fuss that the African government has picked him up. He's in jail. They're holding his passport. Now, I'm going to say that he paid people off because he's a multimillionaire. So they're saying that the people that work at the resort makes like $80 a month. So if you gave them $5,000, that's a lot of money. So they're saying he paid off the staff, paid off the police. It's just a whole lot. And so my thing is, you young ladies, it's not always about the money. Our country has gotten to the point, and that's why we're in the state we are in now. We are the greediest country in the whole world. All we think about is money, more money, more money, and more money. And the thing is, it looks like you spelled it right, or maybe just as only one L. But just because somebody got money don't make them a good person. Oh, they had cameras. They just ain't showing. How you gonna have a resort like that with people coming in? But apparently, that's an area that rich people like to come in and do some of their dirt. There's a lot of sex trafficking going on there. There's just a whole lot going on there because it's a poor country, and you toss some dollars, and you can get a lot done. And then also they said that if you're a Caucasian person, then they'll respect you more. Just because they figure you got money. So, yeah, and he's been going there for years. Matter of fact, he has a business with somebody there where it's an ambulance because they claim that when they found her, she was still breathing, and they took her in an ambulance, took her to one hospital. For some reason, she didn't stay there. They took her to another one, and she died along the way. That didn't even make sense to me. But you're in a foreign country, so just know who you're going out the country with. Hell, just know who you're going anywhere with, within the country and out of the country. Because I don't understand all these trips people taking, and folks is just taking them out when they ain't in the United States. I don't know. They may not, but it's a pretty fancy resort owned by the Dutch. And they usually have people with a lot of money staying there. I don't know. They may not have, or they may just be saying they didn't. Because, well, you know what? They may not have, because I'm looking at the surveillance tape that they had from the Hilton on the shooting from, the correspondence dinner, and that shit is grainy as hell. I'm like, that's the best camera they could have? It didn't make no sense. You can barely tell who was who. But just be mindful. It's not always about money. And they had been dating about 2 years, and he had been married before. He had 2 children. But you just never know about people. You just never know. I'm sure she thought he was a good guy. From what I hear, she loved him. Yeah. I don't know if they just got into an argument and something happened and it was an accident. Then he tried to cover it up. There are red flags. When you see the red flags, you need to pack your shit and move on. Just move on. Don't look at it as you just can't live without this person. If you met that one, you'll meet another one. And that's the same for men, because there's a whole bunch of crazy women out here. If you see the red flags, just keep it moving, because you don't want to end up in a situation where you end up hurting them and now you in trouble, or they hurt you and you still in trouble. It's just, it's just too much. It's like women are being taken out left and right lately. Between that one, then you had the ex-lieutenant governor, take his wife out in front of their 14 and 16-year-old children. Who does that? They were getting a divorce. See, I don't believe when you talk about you want to get a divorce, when y'all decide you want to get a divorce, y'all should separate that day. Somebody go live with family or move into a hotel. You cannot stay underneath the same roof, especially if you got a contentious divorce. And he was the one that had an affair. She wanted to leave him. He probably had been having affairs, and she got tired of it. She wanted a divorce because he was messing around with somebody, and you end up taking her out. That's crazy. His ass would have had to go. The day that I said I want a divorce, I'm gonna need you to pack your shit and go, or either me and the kids need to go. People be trying to stay places because of houses and cars and all this shit. You can get another one. You can't get another life. You can get another house. You can get another car. You can get another whatever. But you can't get another life. Now these children ain't got no parents because he going to jail for sure, prison, and she not here no more. And they got to live with this bullshit for the rest of their lives. And that's why people like me get to make a whole lot of money because of shit like that. That wasn't even called for. Just wasn't even called for. And then, what about the young guy in Louisiana, in Shreveport, that took out all his children and somebody else's because his wife wanted a divorce? Even though part of them children belonged to another woman, he had 2 or 3 kids with another woman, and they were around the same age as some of the kids he had with his wife, which means he had a girlfriend for a few years while he was married. But because she wanted a divorce, you're going to take the children out and her, or she ended up living. So did the sister-in-law and her child, one of her children. And he had gotten in trouble for shooting a 9mm close to a playground or a school or something. And they gave him like 8 months or something, a little pat on the hand, and let him go. It's not like he hadn't had issues. Matter of fact, in February, he had been put in the hospital for some mental stuff, and he had just gotten out. He had been in there for a little bit and gotten out. So he had some stuff going on. There were some red flags. And matter of fact, one of his coworkers was saying that he seemed to be a very nice guy, but apparently he was under a lot of stress because his hair had started falling out. I was in the military with this guy that happened to. He was under stress so much that his hair fell out in like patches. And it wasn't funny, but people started calling him Patches. And so that's what was happening to that guy. So, I mean, these kids didn't even get to really live. I don't even know how you can do that. I don't even know what state of mind. You got to be in a show enough crazy state of mind to come in and take out sleeping children. And they said that there were bullets going all by the back door as if the kids were trying to run and get out. Can you imagine being woken up like, oh my gosh, none of them would be right. The sister-in-law and her husband lost a child. He was at work. Her and her son, one of her children, broke their legs and all this because she put them on the roof, and she got on the roof and they jumped off the house. They were the ones that called the police. The wife, she gonna need reconstructive surgery because he shot her in the face. She ain't never gonna be right. Losing all her children at the hands of the man you were married to that helped create those children. But see, there were some red flags before she married him, because when they were dating, she had wanted to break up with him, and he had told her that if she left, he was going to unalive her. And she still married him. See, that's when she should have cut them strings if she had to leave the state. Sometimes you got to take some drastic measures, because the police is going to tell you, we can't do anything till he does something. You can get a restraining order, but even if they break the restraining order, they're just going to give them a pat on the hand. So until they almost probably physically do something to you or unalive you, that's when they can do something. And it's too late then, because many of people have lost their lives even having a restraining order. So y'all just be careful out there. Be careful, careful, careful. This world is crazy right now. It's hard to trust anybody. Hard to know who's doing right and who's doing wrong. Who would do harm to you and who won't. You just gotta be careful. So let's see what else is going on. I don't think they're going to fire Jimmy. Going back to Lovecraft, I don't think they're going to fire him. But if they do, I think he's prepared because he ain't took it back. And every night he still come out there and say what he gonna say. I think after that first time, I think he's probably put stuff in place just in case this rolled around again. I don't think he would be surprised if they say, hey, hey, peace. I don't think he'd be surprised if they say, hey, we're going to let you go. I'm sure he put some stuff in place. Now, he's probably the most popular night show host right now. I don't know why they let him go because I don't know who they put in that slot. That's what I'm saying. You don't even be knowing who you're married to. But I think Jimmy gonna be okay. He'll probably come to YouTube and have a whole Jimmy Kimmel show on YouTube and make more money. I did not know that Don Lemon was a millionaire. He said that the other day. I mean, I knew he had money, but I just never put him in the millionaire category. And his husband must have a good job because wherever Don is, he going. He was in the hospital in February. He had something like a nervous breakdown. He was getting some mental health. He was getting assistance, but it just wasn't enough. It just was not enough. And sometimes, it's not. Mental health is tricky because sometimes people reach out and you recognize it, and sometimes they're reaching out and you don't recognize it. Sometimes people won't let you know what's going on with them until something crazy happens, and everybody always says, oh, he or she was such a nice person. I never saw anything going on with them. You never know what's going on with people. Well, Janice, if they can make money, where is my money? I was sitting there watching Don today, and somebody sent him a $500 super chat. I was like, what? What? I'm like, I need to be like Candy. I'm going to go sit in my car and tell y'all that I done lost everything and I'm in the car living. Do like Vanessa, be pretending like I'm living in a car. Well, you know what? He's still under contract with them, even though whatever the deal was, he still can't technically work for another news um, company for so much time. But it don't matter because now he making buku bucks on YouTube, and because the thing with them trying to sue him, that just made his ratings go up. Maybe that's what I need. I need a viral something. I need to do something make me go viral. That's what it is. I mean, but there's some begging folks on YouTube. There is some begging folks. I have never seen anything like this. I don't, maybe because I'm too old. Maybe, I'll be thinking sometimes I have really now become that old person that I used to laugh at and be like, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? You so old. I am now them. Oh, how old is his partner? Because his partner be wherever he's at. Tim, that's his name, Tim. Yeah, Tim don't play around. Wherever his boo going, he gonna be there. Especially after they had arrested him. Tim was like, we not doing this no more. I was just like, yeah, I have become that old person. Because I don't understand people. I don't understand people who come on YouTube and tell everything about their life. And then their feelings get hurt when people use it against them. That's like when I was coming up. You just didn't tell everybody your business because everybody ain't your friend. Now it's on a bigger scale. If you got 6,000 subs, you out here telling literally 6,000 people all your business. And then your feelings be hurt when 400 of them come back and want to troll you. Yeah, I know he's the one with the money. I think his husband is a realtor. I mean, he has money. He ain't got as much as Don, but he ain't, he ain't Poe. Wow. 24 million. I had no idea. I guess I wasn't thinking about it. Hell, it ain't my money. Hey, if every one of y'all send me $1, I do do like Candy do. I need 250. If 25 of y'all can send me $10, that'll help me make ends meet. Did y'all watch the little video I did showing where the lady confronted her today or yesterday? I think it was yesterday. In the train station, and she looked shocked as shit. I was like, you're going to keep messing around. You're going to keep messing with people until you're going to get something that you don't want. You cannot be out here running up on people, saying crazy shit to them, recording them, and all this foolishness on YouTube and think that people are not going to get tired of it. Thanks, peace. I'll check that out. I mean, it don't make no sense to me how people they just running amok out here in the world, just running amok, doing all kind of crazy ass shit. Because you could never have told me that I would be watching TV and literally watch a homeless woman go around the United States not once but twice for free, and other people paying for it. You couldn't have told me that. I'd have said you was lying. I would have said you were lying. Girl, Candy got it going on. She make me so mad, Recessionista, because first of all, I have a thing about women and their appearance, probably because I'm a woman. There is no way in hell I would have traveled around the United States 2 times in the same shit and not be clean, getting on trains and buses and dirty ass drawers and dresses. And I'm so tired of that damn hoodie. It probably can stand up on its own. It'd probably walk the hell away if she took it off. And then she is the bougiest homeless person. And I have worked with homeless people for years. And you find the ones who are on drugs, alcoholics. You got people, you got a lot of veterans that just hang out because they like hanging there and they have a place to stay. You got some people that tell you straight up they don't want the responsibility. It's easier to them to be homeless. And then you have the ones who unfortunately lost jobs and all this because you got more single women with children homeless, more families who are homeless. It's a menagerie of people out there. But I ain't never met a bougie homeless. Because if Candy had money, you wouldn't be able to tell her nothing. Because she is the bougiest homeless person I have ever seen, especially when it comes to food. Girl is going to eat a nice meal. And what she says, she needs 3 meals a day. She will come on and say, at least I had 3 meals today. And then her favorite line, well, what's wrong with giving myself a little treat? I should be able to treat myself sometimes. And then she had a nerve to say the other day, I deserve a vacation. Why shouldn't I get a vacation? How the hell you get a vacation and you don't work nowhere? I thought vacation was for people who work. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't understand what a vacation is. But I thought if you didn't do nothing, you don't get a vacation. Is that not how it works? Come on, commercial. I really thought that if you didn't have no job, you had no damn vacation. I know. Angie got a good picture. I had to, Angie, I hope you don't mind me using parts of your videos in that picture, but I had to show that picture because her ass was shocked as shit. Shocked as shit. Because, see, she said some horrible things to Angie about her son, her losing her son. I could not even believe she said. And so she's a nice woman because you know what? The popo probably would have had to pull me off of her fat ass because I probably I had to roll up on her. I'd had to roll up on her. And then the whole did you? I don't know if y'all watched it. When she went to Philly, she's claimed that she stayed in a hotel that was under $100. Now, what kind of hotel you figure she stayed in Philadelphia that was under $100 and no deposit? And she had the nerve to say that there was blood on the shower curtain, and she tried to pour alcohol on it to get it off. But she stayed in places that was worse than that. It didn't have no microwave and no refrigerator. Baby, that would not be a place that Deborah could lay her head. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I was like, you're going to get back up with bed bugs again. Sure enough. I mean, would you stay in a hotel room that had blood on the shower curtain? I'm not. Mm-mm. And then she had the nerve to say that she was mad because she usually likes to comb her hair when she takes a shower. You ain't combed that shit in I don't know how long. You probably can't even get a comb through that hair at all. Looking like buckwheat sister. I'm just like, oh my gosh. No ma'am. And that dress, she done had that dress on for 30 freaking days. It's the day dress and the night dress. It's the pajama, it's the pajamas and the lounging outfit. It's to go to the beach and the travel outfit. It's the everything dress. Oh my girl. I don't know because she'll never come. They say in July, there's a church that gives free haircuts on the 4th of July. So every year she goes and lets them cut her hair for free. All the damn money she get from people, she could have went and got a haircut at any given time. And my thing is this, I bet her ass ain't even bought a pair of drawers. But you'll go eat a $50 meal because she had the nerve to say that she got African food in Philly. I know African food down here is expensive. I don't know about the city, but the Africans down here don't play. It is not cheap. So you done laid your happy ass up there in the bed and ordered African food. I just can't with her. It's like food is her drug. She would rather have 3 meals a day and not have no clean drawers, not have no shoes that fit. She's still wearing them same them clodhoppers, as they would say back in the day. She's still wearing them size 11 tennis shoes. And she's only 5'2". Her feet are not that big. She probably like a size what, 7, 8? And you got a size you know she done went around the United States not once but twice in them clodhoppers, clopping along on the streets. Oh my gosh, she is a sight to see. She said she had one pair of underwear. Girl, them things probably done walked away. They done said we can't take this shit no more. Let me tell you something. Our ancestors ate 3 meals a day because they worked all day. They were in the fields and stuff like that. They needed those meals because they needed the energy to be able to do the work they do. None of us is working as hard as they worked. And really, it was the companies that actually created breakfast. Actually, breakfast means to take a break. You're fasting. So really, there was no such thing as getting up, making pancakes and having cereal and all that stuff for many, many years until the companies like General Mills and stuff like that introduced that to the people. And so, and then they pushed it. There are so many agendas that they have pushed on us that we do not need. They pushed that agenda on us that we need to have 3 meals. And then they get the whole thing about breakfast is the most important meal. Really, you should not even eat in the morning. You should fast till at least noon to give your body a break. But no, people like Candy said they need 3 meals a day. She is 42. She's 42. She's turning 43 in August, if I'm not mistaken. I normally fast. I'm trying now to do better and have my dinner by 7, no later than 8. Most time I get it in before 7. And then I fast until noon. And a lot of days, like today, I didn't eat till 3, 2:30, 3 o'clock. And then that's the only meal I had. She's 42 or 43. Girl, I guess all that sleeping she do. How you drop 40 pounds? I ain't dropped shit. I think it's the menopause weight. It is the Hey, Zebra. Thank you. You was getting in that person's ass in my comments. Somebody came in and said, why was I pretty much picking on Candy because she homeless? Let me tell you something. There is homeless and then there's Candy. The two is not the same. I would not say, and she, she's a lot like Mac over there. I would not say anything about Candace if she did not try to manipulate people in my category, the elderly, as she called us, and people who are Christians. She loved messing with the elderly Christian people because they're older. They have a soft spot. They'll go ahead and help you out. And if they're Christians, they feel like God is telling them to do that. So my thing is this. If you have the right to go out here and cuss people out, call them names, do all the shit that she do out in the streets, I figure then it's free reign for me to be able to say shit about you on YouTube if I want to. Yes, she is homeless by choice. If y'all didn't know, Candy has had quite a few apartments on Section 8 or just housing because she's disabled. When you have a disability, you're going to get housing first before everybody else. The problem is Candy either didn't want to pay, Candy got into it with her neighbors, or she just would up and leave because she said that they were shooting her with direct energy weapons or some bullshit. Every state she went and stayed in, she had a place to stay. She left it. Just like now. Even though she probably done did some shit with housing in Louisiana, if she went down there, they would still have to give her a place to stay because she's disabled. Nah, Zebra got in their ass. Ain't anybody had to say nothing. I ain't even say nothing. I seen Zebra getting that ass. And so I was like, I'm not saying that. Then some lady came over and was like, well, she said something like, it was sad for me to be talking about Candy. I was like, let me tell you something. You bleeding hearts that's over there giving her money. I don't give a shit about what you say. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to do. For those who've been over here on this channel, they know that. Wait a minute, this ain't my first time at the rodeo with the people coming over trying to tell me what I need to do. I don't give a shit about what y'all put in them comments. I really don't. So if I want to talk about Candace, I'm going to talk about her every damn day. Every day. Let me tell you something. Candace get more money. Y'all know I work overtime all the time. Candy making as much money as me or more. She might be making more money than me. Because homegirl will beg. She will beg until them people break down. And see, the thing is, one thing I found about her, and I hadn't even been watching her a year. If she ain't got no money, she gonna be on there begging. And she has not had anything to say. And we all know that watch her that she can't keep money for nothing. So that little AdSense check she got was gone. There's somebody in the background that's paying her, giving her money right now. I think it's that lady that came over to my channel. I want to say it's Nikki somebody. Or the older man Ben. I think that's the one that She might have got the coins from, like, that she trying to pretend like she ain't know nothing about. I think he might be the new one that's footing the bill for her since Miss Sugar gone. Hey, now the word on the street is that they be calling her Diamond, and she may. I wouldn't put it past her because I didn't know she stole stuff until she was getting kicked out of Dollar Tree for stealing. She used to always be saying she going to Dollar Tree, but she was in there stealing stuff. So if she got sticky fingers, I bet she be robbing Walmart blind when she go in there. I bet you half the shit she got, she ain't even paying for. Don't let her fool you. That's the whole thing. I think she stays looking the way she looks is so that she can look more pitiful. She has to look homeless for the part. So I ain't gonna comb my hair. I ain't gonna wear this. I said, you know what? For all we know, Candace got an apartment somewhere. She got fine furniture, nice clothes, might comb her hair when we ain't seeing her. Because I used to swear when she used to be sitting in the park at night, she had to get off every night by midnight. Every night. Why you have to get off at midnight if you ain't have no place to go? And then you wouldn't see her again till the next day. But I had to look at it like this. It was wintertime. She could have told us it was 5 in the morning. It could have been 5 in the afternoon because it get dark early. We don't know what time it really is when she make these videos. So then when I started saying stuff about it, she would start trying to do videos later, like at 1 o'clock or something like that. I don't trust her. She's a liar. She's a conniver. She's a manipulator. And she will con you sure as your name is whatever it is to get some money out of you. I said she might be going to see men when she went to these certain cities. We don't know who she knew because she was kind of incognito in Cali. She didn't make that many videos. Girl, I don't know what Max, you know what? Mac and her, I don't know who would buy it because both of them don't like to wash. Both of them got an issue with taking a bath. And you know Mac could sit over there and be funky for days on end and not comb her hair. And you notice she shaved her hair off. I think she shaved her hair off because when people start looking at her, they don't know. Maybe she's sick. Maybe she has cancer or something since she's bald headed. Because they don't know that she has alopecia. And she liked to eat. They might be selling some cooch for some food. Y'all seen that guy? I was, you know what? This is what I'm gonna say about men, and y'all, and for the men that may watch this or who's watching me, I hate to say this about y'all, but y'all don't care. Y'all will sleep with anything. Because when Jose came up to her and told her did she want to make some dineros when she was in Atlanta, I'm like, man, you don't even know what you would be laying down with. You probably got up with bed bugs and everything else. You see a woman, I'm like, how did you look at her and decide that that's who you wanted to buy? Maybe he thought she was going to be cheap. Maybe he figured she was going to be cheap. I don't know. Candy might have went with him that night. She might have went with him and made a little change. Well, he ought not to drink. He ought not to drink. If that he need to quit drinking. Cause baby, he was about to get him. If he might have got it. I don't know. He might have gotten it. Come on, son. I don't know, but I'm like, and then she had the nerve to say that y'all know she called me elderly, and that she didn't do nothing to me. She don't know why I make videos about her, and that I was too old to be trolling her, pretty much, and that Well, she said that we were trying to make her gay and sex traffic her. And I'm like, girl, if I was going to sex traffic somebody, it would not be her. I'm sorry. And I'm sure they could still make money off of her because men don't care. Take her across the border. They don't care. They come in there drunk. As long as she got a hole, they'll hit it. I couldn't personally, if I was a sex trafficker, deal with her. So that is not even on the table. And then her trying to say that the women must be gay. Girl, I wouldn't touch you or Mac with a 10-foot pole ever in my life if I decided to go be with women. Y'all are the most nastiest two women I have ever seen in my whole life. That's what I'm saying. Men don't care. Did I ever give her money? No. A friend of mine told me about her. And he said, hey, watch this lady and tell me what you think. And I got over there and I was like, oh my goodness. But see, I knew she was a con straight off. I did not get no warm fuzzies from her that she was so homeless and down and out. And see, I'm a person like this. I'm going to investigate. So I went, she had thousands of videos. So I said, let me go back to the earliest ones. I went back and looked at her earlier ones. I looked at some a couple of years ago and worked my way back just, here and there. I didn't watch the whole thing. I would just look and see. And she'd been saying the same thing for 10 years. And she'd been getting money. I mean, people were literally putting her up in a hotel for like months on end. I mean, 3 or 4 months paying for her to stay in a hotel and paying for her to have 3 meals a day. And just about, I'm going to say at least 85% of her videos are her laying in a bed in a hotel. And I said, something wrong with this picture here. Deborah ain't finna depart with her money. No, ma'am. I'm not finna give you none. And I'm glad I was not one of those people that just slid in one of her lives and looked at her and heard her talking that shit. And first of all, y'all know I'm a counselor. So I already thought she had a mental disorder because I'm like, what the hell is a targeted individual? I didn't even know what she was talking about. I had to go look it up. And it still didn't make no sense to me. Because I can't see them targeting her. And so my thing is, I hate to say it, and I know there are people who believe they are targeted, and there might be some people who were targeted at some time. And I know that the government does experiments on people, and they do love doing experiments on twins because they get 2 for 1. They get to be able to see how 2 people who are so much alike, go through certain things, how they each handle it. So I know the government does this. I just don't think it happened to her. And a lot of the people that's on YouTube, it ain't happening to them either. It's a con. It's a con. Matter of fact, she was talking to a woman who said that she was pregnant for 2 years. What the hell? And you believe she was a targeted individual? I'm like, stop it. That's what I said. She's not targeted. What she is, and this is, I'm gonna stick to this. This is my synopsis of what I see about Kandi. Matter of fact, she got on and made a video and she's talking about the medication that she was taking as a child because she said she hadn't been on medication for a decade. And baby, you need some. You really do, boo-boo. You need to go on back and get it. But both medications are used for schizophrenic. Now, the first one that she says something, I can't, clonidine or something like that, it can be used for ADHD, and it can be used for somebody that has Tourette's, but she ain't got Tourette's. The second one is straight up used. It's a psychotropic drug used specifically for people who's schizophrenic. So, ma'am, they had you on both the medications because you're a schizophrenic. I fully understand that is not a label that anybody would want to carry with them. Most people who are schizophrenic would tell you they're not. It takes a strong person to finally come to grips that they have a mental disorder, and this is what the mental disorder is. So I think that when somebody said to her some years ago that she sounded like she might be a targeted individual, because she's a smart woman, I'm gonna give her props. She is a smart. When it comes to books, she is a smart person. So she went and did her investigation on targeted individuals, watched a whole bunch of videos, read up on a whole bunch of stuff, and decided that that's what she was going to be versus being schizophrenic. And so that's where we're at. She has decided that she gonna roll out with this scenario of being a targeted individual versus being a schizophrenic, because she gets very upset when people say she's crazy. But everybody says that about her. She has some mental disorders. Now, see, this is the issue. I think they do still sell Pantene. I didn't know they still sold VO5. Why you would want to wash your private parts with VO5, I don't know. This is what, okay, now see, Zebra, it can be two things at one time. I just said, Kidney's a very smart person. She graduated with honors out of high school and stuff. She's not dumb. You can be manipulative and a con artist and still have a mental disorder. See, people seem to think that people with mental disorders are slow or uneducated. That's not true. You'd be surprised who's walking around you with a mental disorder. It don't stop them from being able to function unless you don't maintain and handle what you got going on, such as your mental disorder. But you can still be a smart, crazy person. And that's what she is. She has learned, she has perfected this. That's where you can tell her intelligence is. She has perfected this thing that she does for conning people. And she does the same thing over and over and over. Why? Because it works. And the thing is, we're sitting there trying to figure out why it works. Because you tell me, Zebra, why do people give her money? If you look at any of her videos, she's not a nice person. Who the hell watches her videos and believe that it's everybody else's fault when you see her literally do stuff to people and get into conflicts with them? Who argues back with the police and tell them they sodomites and satanic sex workers and all this other bullshit? These people are, and Mac ain't dumb. She ain't as smart as Candy, but she ain't dumb. You can't be that dumb to be able to do the cons that they're doing. They know who to target, they know what works, and they stick with it. How is it after all this time, McNasty over there still got people believing that she living in a damn van? People really think Mac living in a van. Mac ain't living in no damn van. She drives that shit out on BML land, and now she don't even get out half the time, so you don't even know where she is. She probably in Charlene's backyard or front yard. That's what I'm trying to tell them. She probably in Charlene's yard. Every now and then she'll drive out there, get out, let you see. But she don't do none of the stuff she used to do. Remember when she stayed on BML land, she would put her little tent thing up. She would make a fire and all this stuff. You don't see her doing any of that anymore. Why? Because she's not staying there. She just drives out there, makes a video, and bring her ass on back to Charlene's. And even when she tell you she's sleeping, we don't know what time that is. She could be taking a nap during the day. Hi, is it Patasha? She could be taking a nap in the middle of the day. We don't know. It's just dark inside in the van. Let me tell you something. These people got some serious cons. Serious cons. Just like influencer. You got people who will say they did all this stuff in a day, but they really did that one video over a week span. but people believe they did all the shit in one day. You got influencers who rent cars, rent out places, just to make people believe that they live in this place or they actually drive this vehicle. They get sponsorships to make people believe that you're buying a $350 bottle of perfume, but you know you got it free, but other people will follow them and go buy that shit. Oh, GoFundMe ain't for my generation either. Candy had a GoFundMe, and she literally had that she was homeless and that she was a targeted individual. She made almost $5,000 on that GoFundMe till people reported her to GoFundMe, and they took it. They won't let her make. She can't make money. I think they took it down. She's on another site now that's like GoFundMe. Yeah, because you know why? Because she ain't making videos like that. She's just trying to keep videos coming out so that she can make the money and that she can get people to believe that she's a van lifer because she knows she can make money as a van lifer. But she ain't doing shit. She goes to the same places. She go to Vegas, then she got to go back to Charlene's. She go to the BML land, then she back at Charlene's. She might go to the shed, but I think that she done gave that up. I don't know what's going on with the tin can and the shed. But it's a con. These people ain't doing nothing but conning people. I'm telling you, there is a lot of unstable people on the internet. That just trips me out. How these people, I mean, they are totally unstable and they have a whole audience that will foot the bill for them. Will give them money, fist over dollar. That's what I say, Martin, too. I'm like, if you able to come on YouTube and make videos all day long and you're an able-bodied person, you can talk, you can walk, you can eat, you can do all that stuff, you can get a damn job. Now Candy has for some reason young women like her and then older people, older men and older women, and especially people who might have had a hard time, you know, like somebody who maybe was at one time homeless themselves. They have a bleeding heart for her. And then she got them crazies that say that they targeted individuals too to come over there. But her targeted individual is young women. I don't know why they want to help her, but they do. And then usually her biggest, she don't even call them subscribers. She calls them supporters. And she right, because Candy believe you should support her. So her biggest supporters are usually older people, older men, older women. Apparently there was a guy that had dementia that had put her in a hotel for 7 months and was paying for her food and everything, and he almost lost his home until his children got involved trying to figure out where his money was going, and she didn't care. Let me tell you something. These people will con you out of your last penny, and you'll end up being homeless or something, and they'll be going on down the road to the next person that they can con. And that's why I have an issue with that, because I'm an older person now. But hell no, I never worked too hard for me to sit here and watch you, and I'm 20 years your senior, and I'm going to give you money, and you don't do shit all day but sit in the library and research shit to make your con better and eat all day long. She had Raven with her. Now, one day you don't have Raven, but you're on BML land, and all of a sudden Raven pop up because you ain't on BML land. That's what I'm saying. People don't think. Critical thinking. That's the word. 2 words that I be trying to remember. People don't have critical thinking anymore. They believe what they see. And that's why our government has pulled the wool over our eyes on a whole bunch of shit. I'm gonna have to just show y'all some stuff. So have I, Martina. So have I. Worked full time and part time. And I was a single parent trying to make it work. But what you didn't see was me out here begging. If I had to get 3 hours of sleep and that was it, I hustled and did what I had to do. I did not come out and beg people and try to make them feel bad and manipulate them into giving me money. Y'all didn't see where I posted that video about that guy that he actually fell off like one of those four-wheelers when he was a kid, and he actually did mess up his side or something, but he's still able to walk. His mom got I think it was like $2 million settlement because of what the accident he had. But by the time he became an older adult, there wasn't no more money left. So he started panhandling. But he found out he could make more money if he was in a wheelchair. Now, this man had a degree as a speech teacher, speech therapist. So what he did was he would be in the wheelchair and he would change his voice and make it sound like he had a mental disorder. And he was making thousands of dollars. And he said that too. He made thousands of dollars doing that. I think he was in Kentucky. And it took a reporter that kept following him around for years and years until he disappeared. They don't know where he's at. But he even went to jail and came back out doing the same thing. Went to jail for it and came back out and did the same thing. He could walk. He would get up and walk. The reporter followed him around enough to get him on camera where he was walking, where he was just sitting out there panhandling. And then he was making so much money doing it that he would have other people wheel him around and he could pay them to wheel him around. And see, he got in trouble because he was getting a disability check and he was out there making all that money. And so the government got him because you cannot do that. You cannot get a disability check and then be out here making all this money the way he was making it. And that's what made him, he had to do, what did he get? I forgot how much time he got. I want to say something like 3 years or something for manipulating. And they were like, well, if you can do all this, you ain't got no disability. See, that's the same thing with Candace. If the government get involved with her and this disability, because she always swears she's not disabled. And the things that she says she's disabled with, there's nothing showing that she's disabled with Tourette's or OCD. So if you're not disabled, why are you still collecting that check every month? Let me tell you something. I was like, she gonna keep playing around till the government gonna do an audit on her, because they can. And see, the thing is, she thinks she's smart, but she's not. You're getting a check. You ain't been to a doctor in how long? You ain't taking no medication. You ain't getting no therapy. So why should they give you a check? And you got videos showing that you said that you're not disabled, that your foster mom lied. So you've been fraudulently getting a check since you were a child. But you ain't never said, let me get this check back. And these people come out here on YouTube, put all this shit out here on YouTube, not thinking it'll turn around and bite you in the ass because they talk too much. They tell all the damn business out here, and then they be shocked when they get in trouble behind it. And I don't know why, because you done told the whole world what's going on with you. But they always think they're smarter than the average bear. That's where con artists usually get in trouble. You can only con for so long. What's that saying? You can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. They always get caught. So I'm just like, I'd just rather be honest and above board. Tell what I am going to tell out here, and the rest of it is my private life, and keep it to myself. I ain't trying to con nobody. I ain't trying to get nothing out of nobody. Just come out here and kiki, have some fun, and talk about what's going on in the world. All right, people, it's 10:13. I said I'll stay in 1 hour, and I stayed 2. All right, she's trying to get back on track. So hopefully we'll have a live on Friday, and I'll have myself together. So y'all been trying to grow my hair back from thinning in the top. Y'all know I cannot go to the DR looking all crazy. I'm wondering if they're gonna mess with our flights and stuff with this damn oil shit. Them canceling flights here and there. I'm gonna be sure enough be mad. Sure enough. All right. Anybody got anything else you wanna say or us to talk about real quick before I get off of here? If not, you can hold it till Friday, and we can do it then. I don't even know anything new out here in these YouTube streets. Anybody beefing and fighting with each other? I don't know. Girl, let me tell you something. There's a lot of older women and men who get scammed out of their life savings behind the you know, those love scams. I be saying to myself, I was watching one lady the other day, and she's older, and the guy that you think is supposed to be your man is supposed to be a military man, because they love stealing identities of military people. And I be saying, come on now, I ain't trying to be funny, but if you didn't get a man that was built like that and looked like that before you got older, why the hell you think you're gonna get one like that now? And these women got in trouble. They end up they used them as mules, and they got in trouble for taking drugs, not knowing, taking drugs from one place to the next. They helped this man out. That's just their friend and they boyfriend, and both of the guys had told the ladies that they were gonna marry them and all this stuff like that. And I'm like, nope, nope. Ain't taking no suitcase that don't belong to me. Ain't picking up one. Ain't taking it nowhere. And now they both sitting in prison, and they don't even know where the guys are. Well, I'm sorry, Lovecraft, but I got a job. I got to get up in the morning. I start work at 6 o'clock. So we will have to finish this on Friday. Well, Janice, the thing is, you got women who were married for years and years and years, and then their spouse is gone. Let's say you're married 30 years, and then your spouse dies. So you're used to having somebody in your life. They're lonely. The children are grown. They see the grandkids every now and then. You get on the internet, and just like the people on YouTube, they know how to pick their mark. And then they start telling you nice stuff. They text you every day. They pretend like they're video chatting with you, because they got it now where it looks like they're video chatting with you, but it's not even them. I think it's because it's difficult getting older. Um, there's a lot of things that happen as you get older that you don't even anticipate, you know? And it can be very difficult getting older if you don't get a handle on it. And for some people, it's worse than others, you know? I mean, I can understand why how they get caught up in it, but, you know, like my father, 83. This person called him and told him that my son, well, they didn't say my son, they said grandson, had been in a car accident, and they were calling because the grandson needed some money. I want to say needed some money for something. I forgot. It had something to do with the car accident. Well, my nephew lives down there, so he knew it wasn't him. So he assumed it was my son. So the people never said anybody's name. They just said your grandchild. And so my dad said my son's name, and they said yes. And he was literally the man who don't like to give up money was literally getting ready to send these people some money, thinking that it was for my son. And my thing is, why would a stranger call you about your grandchild if they were in the hospital? Why wouldn't I call you and tell you that your grandchild was in the hospital? And he called my son, wanted to know, was he okay? I was just like, I could not believe that my dad was getting ready to fall for this scam. But if you're not, if you don't listen, you just halfway listening, you think you hear one thing and you don't, and then the way they say it is that they're trying to get information so that they can make it believable to you. I don't answer no phone call that I don't know who it is. Bottom line. And iPhones will let you know if they think it's a scam number. So I don't understand why people answer phone calls that they don't know who it is. Um, they have been trying to report her to Social Security. She said that she went to the IRS and they said that she did not make enough money on YouTube for her to have to report the money. But she did not tell them about the money that people give her. Now, I don't know how that works. I don't know if you have to report, like, the Cash App will go along with her YouTube check because it would be included in that. But if people just give you money on Cash App, do you have to report that? That's true peace. And that's why I try to squash them like her and the Max. I can't get them all, but the ones I can get, I'm going to ride your ass till people quit giving you money. I don't know if you have to report the money that people cash app to you. This is all a whole new area. So, is that considered income or is it considered a donation? If you're on disability, do you have to report it? I don't know. But I know that guy got in trouble for making all that money. It was on disability. The disability only allows you to make so much money. So I guess they were considering it income. I don't know. Jermaine Jackson, know he elderly. Although hell, he older than me, and still wearing that hairdo with a look like he used black marker to put his hairline in. Oh no, we squashed that, recessionista. That's why she be telling them lies now, because she don't have the supporters like now. She used to have some supporters. She has supporters that was better than Candy, because when she was over there in that tin can and she had all them housewarming parties and them people bought all that stuff for her, I could not believe it. And was sending her cash. I'm just trying to figure out, do y'all not see that this woman is a con artist? But nope. I think people like to be con. I have always found that people would much rather you lie to them than you tell them the truth. Yeah. I think people like to be con because I just look at the United States. I'm like, how did y'all believe that this man was going to do what he said? And you put him back in office again. And now everybody, it's not just affecting the United States, it is affecting people globally. What we did in the United States. By him getting back in office, it is affecting the whole world. That's crazy. That is crazy. All right, Pete. Me and Martin that got to work in the morning, and the rest of you that got to work, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Recessionista, you done changed jobs yet? Yeah, that's the funny thing. But it's not funny, but Patasha, the people who really need it can't get it, but the candies of the world can get it. Isn't that something? I bet you she could walk in there, and because she got something health wise going on with her, the reason why her legs swell up and all that stuff, I bet you they probably give her a wheelchair. Yes, they will, Janice. Oh no, he did not. I don't know what's wrong with Jermaine. See, and men, and that's the way men deal with getting older. They still got to feel like they're virile. Is it virile? Am I pronouncing it right? Anyway, they still want to make sure they stuff works. Now, do you think he really got a 30-year-old pregnant at 72? You think it still works? Because even at a certain point, Viagra ain't even working for it. So you think it is his baby? It made him feel good to be able to have a little child because it makes him feel like he still got it as a man. That's the issue with men. They always still thinking with the wrong head. All right, because y'all know I can get on a whole conversation on that. We'll talk about that on Friday. Why men, older men, can't age well. They still got to make sure they can still do what they do. Good night, peace. See, I wish I would be. I wish I would be at a paternity court at 80 talking about a child. Man, please. You better not even look at me talking about no children because your feelings will be hurt. The shop is closed and I'm happy about it. All right, peeps. I will talk to you guys on Friday. Y'all didn't even, Parker ain't even barked tonight. Did y'all realize that? He didn't bark now one time. He gonna raise up and look at me like, why are you calling my name? I'm just talking about you didn't bark tonight. But he does say, hey. Good night, y'all. I'll see y'all on Friday. I do too, peace. Parker says good night. Talk to y'all later. Bye.